right? Grapevine is the term used by Simon Bernard and many other scholars. Especially we study when we talk about communication, right? So Simon Bernard and others who have used this idea, even Mayo, to indicate it to the informal communication systems. So how informal communication is necessary? Just now we were talking about, right? Once we have informal, fine, we can assume that we have taken a positive view that it can be constructive for the organization, right? But there is another view which says that it can be, okay, destructive to the formal systems, right? But it is necessary. So the discussion that we have done here in question 2 or B, 1B, right? That same applies to this. The only difference is the word grapevine. So grapevine are the unstructured, informal means of communication, right? There can be a variety of grapevine methods, like gossiping is a grapevine, right? For example, casual communication is a grapevine. Non-documented communication is a grapevine. Or for that matter, let us say that a manager, right, when he interacts with his subordinates, right, or with co-workers in a more informal atmosphere, that's a grapevine. Also, body languages, right? Symbols like you seem to be angry, right? Now you don't need to write it on paper. You seem to be angry, so that conveys the idea. So there are many ways by which you realize that how the people communicate with each other in the organization, irrespective of the formal design and the formal method of communication, right? That is the idea. So grapevines are necessary evil. Same question, see, it's like a repetition. So the form of communication which somewhere is not visualized by the organization, it is not written in charts, it is not designed as per the law, it is not part of the standard structure, but still it exists and it operates and it influences the formal communication system, right? For example, Bernard's idea of acceptance theory of authority. What does he want to say? He wants to say that your formal authority, your formal direction, or your formal decision, a management decision or manager's decision, may not be accepted by the subordinate. Why? Because somewhere there are informal factors which are influencing it, right? So unless a superior understands that a subordinate will accept my authority, and only then I'll be able to exercise the authority, right? So I need to develop a consensus with my subordinate, right? Somewhere I need to have a democratic or more, a human or humane perspective towards my subordinate, and that's the informal aspect. So in every organization, the informal systems will always improve somewhere the relationship between those who are exercising authority and on those it is being exercised. But yes, like I said, they can be counterproductive also. For example, Mayo has shown they can be counterproductive. Taylor believed systemic soaring is counterproductive. So informal communications may be more like grapevines. They may be casual. They may have no structure. They may be, just like the 𝗂𝗃𝐶𝐵𝐵𝐬𝐿. That's a grapevine. So they might move from here to there. They might enter into those spaces which are personal. They may violate privacy. They may lead to disclosing of the secrecy or the information of the organization to the outsiders. They may provoke conflicts within the organization. They may initiate resistance to the management policies, and there can be a lot of other consequences, right? Grapevines can also erode the trust between the workers or the people, subordinates, and the superiors, right? Because of the, what you can say, the false information that might travel, right? Grapevines travel much faster than the formal communication because they do not need to follow any specified route. The formal systems have to follow a route, a designated procedure, but they don't have to, right? And they are more born out of the human sentiments. Also, these grapevines are subject to filtering, right? Communication can be filtered, and what you get is something different. Manipulation of information. So they are subject to filtering. They are subject to halo effect. What is a halo effect? Some part of the information which is, we call it as halo effect, right? Or filtering. Some part of the information which is important might be eliminated and unimportant information might be conveyed, or the one who is conveying the information might not interpret it properly, and he may convey only the things that he understands, rest he may leave, right? Then there can be bandwagon effect, right? Bandwagon effect is that, okay, few people, right, who may claim to have direct source of information, or who may be interpreting an information in a particular way, they might influence the others to accept it in that particular manner. In fact, at the workers level or at the subordinate level also, you might have elites, right? So these elites can again capture or control this information and selectively release to rest of the organization. In this way, right, the management or the managers would lose a lot of trust within the organization, right? So legitimacy of power and authority would be questioned. And again, further conflicts may create. It may lead to people leaving the organization, attrition rate, right, quitting the jobs. A lot of other factors may emerge. Fine. So if you want, you can extend it, but as far as you have the space and the time, you can use it to that extent only, right? Though we have discussed in detail what could be the possibilities, so you can write your own points out of that.